Alright, hello my beautiful brothers and sisters from all over the world. As we know, right now is a really dark period in the world with this virus. Everything seems to be getting worse day in and day out. The purpose of today's video is to explain why a person should not allow their mind to worry during desperate situations like these. We'll be analyzing a book written by a famous Hasidic master, Rabbi Nachman, Don't Worry. And while I read the book, I'll be giving you a little bit of an insight from my perspective of what he's trying to say. Now, this book applies even if you don't believe in God. If you're an atheist, this advice is very practical, and we can all take lessons from this advice. And it can really benefit us and the people around us during this period of time. Don't mind me if I sound a little weird. It's my first time making one of these videos. So let's get started. Rabbi Nachman begins by saying, "My dear human beings, you must know that worry destroys a person completely and bring him nowhere but to the threshold of despair. Here we learn that worry brings a person nowhere, and it will bring them to the lowest point on earth. Therefore, to be certain to do everything possible to make yourself happy, you should avoid all types of anxiety which ruin your health." Here, Rabbi Nachman is trying to say is, during this period of time, watch less news, because right now the news is so toxic with the virus. Every day someone is dying. People are getting more sick from this place to that place. Avoid watching the news. The news is the center of worry. Instead, do things that are actually productive and benefit your life. It could be push-ups, it could be working out, it could be reading a book, talking to friends, whatever it is. Make sure that every day you're doing something productive that prevents you from worrying. Because right now, if you turn on the news station, I guarantee you we're all going to start worrying and panicking. And that's just going to destroy our bodies and minds. Do not bring within yourself worry, for many strong men worry has killed. Throughout history, many strong men and women who've worried have died. They let the worry get the best of their mind. It's up to you to try in every manner to attain true happiness. The method to achieve this is to train yourself to speak to God, whose relevance fills the world. So during this period of time, you need to train yourself not to worry. And that sounds it's easier said than done. But every day you need to do practical steps, basically, to avoid worrying. And since this is a religious book, it's talking about God, but this applies to anything. Speak to the universe, speak to yourself, and tell yourself, why the hell am I worrying? What's the purpose of it? Tell the universe of all that is in your heart, all that disturbs you. So a suggestion I have is, every day, take a piece of paper and write down what worries you from the depths of your hearts. What's making you feel anxious? By doing this, we're able to address the issue. Just like this first step for a drug addict is to admit that he's a drug addict. And then he can start finding solutions how to find a cure to his addiction. It's up to you to remember that there is no one who can understand you except God alone. In this context, if you don't believe in God, the same advice applies. Only you know why you worry. So you have to find ways not to worry. Therefore, why rely on human beings who can only make it worse for us? Why should we, during this virus, rely on the news, the government, and all of that shenanigans? Instead, we should take initiative ourselves and make sure not to worry. Of course, we need to follow the precautions of standing 6 feet behind people, wash our hands, wear masks, gloves, all that stuff. But we should not rely on the news, because the news is the center of worry, like I've already said before. It's better for you to rely on the universe and speak to him in your own way and language. We all have our own unique talents and abilities. And of course languages, because we all come from different places. So let's speak to ourselves and figure out why we are worrying. Don't worry. From the mouth of God, you will then be at ease and you will feel like an entirely different person. As soon as you do something that benefits your life, you immediately feel better. You know, it's like when you go work out in the gym, you immediately feel better. Me personally, when I'm in the gym and I'm feeling anxious, I go out and get my workout in and I immediately feel better. Why must you worry about everything in the world? Life goes on regardless of whether you worry or not. Even during a time like this, life goes on. The world keeps moving. But your worry will remain. if you don't work on improving your stress and worries. Therefore, make sure you sneak in some happiness today. Rejoice, be happy, even dance a little bit furthermore. So basically what Nachman is saying here is, rejoice, be happy, because even in the darkest periods there's still joy. Do something that benefits your life and brings you pure joy. You know what I mean? Because life is short. We're not here for a long period of time. So you might as well do something that actually benefits you. If it's singing, dancing, whatever hobby you have, do it. Because that will bring you joy, and joy destroys worry. Furthermore, make sure your family is happy and your neighbors are happy as well. Especially during a period like this, it's extremely important to make sure our family has everything taken care of, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Our neighbors, our friends. Even though physically it's a lot harder with the lockdown restrictions everywhere, we can still call our grandparents, we can still help our parents by increasing in acts of goodness and kindness. Just a call a day keeps the virus away. With worry and concern, you will achieve absolutely nothing. Instead, this is very crucial, you will destroy your life and the life of everyone around you. For example, there's people in my building right now who are healthy, but they're so paranoid and watching the news so much that they think they have the virus. They're checking their temperature 2 times a day. This creates an extremely big problem because people who worry are going to think that they have the virus and they're going to rush to the hospital. What's going to happen? The hospital is going to be overcrowded and people who actually need help won't be able to get help because your ego is getting the best of you. So don't allow that to happen. Therefore, disregard every type of anxiety you have and stop worrying. Relax, take a deep breath in. Everything's going to be okay. You will achieve this only if you have faith in God, knowing that the world does not operate independently. Rather, there's a creator who constantly rules the world with utmost supervision. So there's an energy in the world that is in control. If we speak to that energy, we're able to overcome any obstacle that comes our way. Don't worry, however, if you sincerely return to God and accept His ruleship, then all your worries will dissolve, and you will be in the light of radiating brilliance of the divine presence of God. Here we see that we have to return to our Creator. I mean, that's not necessarily practical in ways. We don't know what the Creator is. We need to return to ourselves. This is what Rabbi Nachman is really saying. Return to who you are. That's another way of battling all of this worry. My dear fellow brothers, why must you worry so much? In any case, worrying will not help you achieve your desired goals. Think of life as like a trail. You have to reach the top of the mountain. If you worry, you're not going to be able to walk fast to reach the top of the mountain. And your goals in life won't be able to be reached. So stay on track and don't worry, because worrying will put you off track. On the contrary, it will drive you further away from your objective. So worrying will push us down the mountain instead of climbing up. For anxiety fills a person with depression and carelessness until he lets himself go completely insane. Then he will achieve nothing. So worry leads a person to a state where he's almost not able to control his mind, and that leads him to lose his sanity. You must fill yourself with the faith in God and know that His mercy is great, and that you should cast your burden upon Him, for He will certainly not abandon you. Basically, you should have faith that all the dark periods in your life will be over soon, and that things will go back to normal. But of course, this is easier said than done. If you train yourself to speak to God in your own words, you will come to believe and trust in Him with pure faith. Then you will realize that worrying is pointless. Again, it's not about the God part, it's about understanding that if you believe and you actually do practical steps every day to battle your stress, depression, and worrying, you'll be able to overcome it. Anyway, we are in the hands of the universe, just as clay is in the hands of the sculptor. If he desires, he lengthens, and he desires, he curtails. It is therefore better for you to believe in God and always take shelter in Him. This will eliminate all your worries. In this case, we need to take shelter in ourselves, because only we know what's best for us. Again, he says, my dear fellow brothers, you must know that the anxiety that a person has from day to day and even from hour to hour next shatter his nerves completely. It fills a person with despair, depression, and internal dependency, and makes him very tense. So when I'm worried, I'm all like jiggling around. I'm not able to think the same way I would think about life if I'm not worrying, which means I'm not on track. Therefore, why must you worry about the future? How do you know what tomorrow will bring? Maybe it will not come at all. So like we're worrying, oh, tomorrow I'm going to get the virus, tomorrow this is going to happen. No, be present in the moment. Because if I think about too many steps ahead, I'm never going to reach those steps. I'm not going to be able to achieve the task at hand now. Be present now. Train yourself to always think of God and believe only in God. Only He can help you, and without His permission, no human being can harm you at all. Train yourself, basically, to find ways to overcome your worry, because you only know yourself the best. I mean, our families know us, but we only know really, truly what's best for us. A wise man already said that anxiety confined in the heart accelerates the aging process. Therefore, worrying jeopardizes your health, shattering your nerves. So basically, if you worry, you jeopardize your health and the health of your family. Because worrying leads to depression and then stress. And then it leads to your body getting all sick. So for example, we all go through periods of time where we feel stressed. And it's a disgusting feeling. So don't worry, because worrying leads to that feeling of feeling lonely and all those other terrible feelings hopefully none of us have to experience ever again. You must train yourself to believe only in God, who will certainly not desert you. As He has helped you until now, so too He will continue to assist you for the rest of your life. So let's put this case, your family. Put faith in your family and tell your family about your problems, because your family is always there for you. And keeping all your problems inside of you only will make the situation worse. Remember what kind of pain and troubles you once had, and yet you managed to pull yourself out of there. Therefore, you must believe that now also you will free from your hardship you endure. Even though you are totally devastated, it seems that hope is lost. Heaven forbid, you must nevertheless remember that in those times of troubles, worrying did not help. So we've all gone through situations, for example, where we've worried and we've managed to pull ourselves out of the dirt of the earth and reach a next level of ourselves. Life is like a video game. You can restart. We can again start up again and again. We can bounce back and forth, right? We've all been in that situation. No human being has not. We all have. And if they say they haven't, they're probably lying. All right. Instead, it made your life even bitter and filled with the most tense apprehension. Stop worrying and believe in God, for He will not abandon you. Even though you are the way you are, you must realize that God is our merciful Father. He will attract yourself completely to God and speak to Him in your own words, telling Him all that is in your heart, and everything occurs to you in your utmost detail. So everything lies in our hearts. I think this is practically the idea. Then it goes on a deeper rant. Basically, the idea is to stop worrying and be present in the moment, especially during periods like this. Increase in acts of goodness and kindness, because there's so much light and beauty left in this world, and I know that every single one of us on the internet can make a difference during this dark period of time. So I commend anybody for watching this video. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm here for you during this difficult period of time. No person should feel alone. Have a good evening and stay safe.